Hi, good evening. This is Susan Campfield with SueStampfield.com. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. Tonight we're going to make an adorable little bunny, button-eyed bunny I call it, using some dies from the mini catalog and some punches or some die cuts that we've had for a while and a few punches. So this is punch art at its best, one of my favorite things to do, to take a variety of dies and punches and create a cute little animal or cute item. So thanks so much for joining me. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to flip the camera here. You're going to see my ceiling for just a moment, and bear with me while I put the camera in my stand here. One moment. There's my ceiling. Flip that around to my desk here. Here we go. Hey Carol, hey Kathy. Awesome. Debbie's here, Deb's here, Jean's here. Fantastic. Thanks for tuning in. So this is our little project that we're making tonight. Super fun. This particular project is actually part of my die cutting embossing class. Because of the current situation, I can't have any classes in my home, so I'm doing my classes online or by video and mailing out packets. So my large group of people that are attending, if you will, this class have just signed up for the class, and I'm putting their packets together now. And I decided to go ahead and do the first video here live on our group. So thanks so much for joining us. So when I'm doing the project, I might be kind of talking to those people that are going to be receiving those packets and giving them some instruction, but it's going to help everybody if you have these materials and you make this project. So just a little explanation about when I say, when you pull this out of your packet, what that means. So now you might wonder, why am I doing the video before they have the packet? Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I just am. The packets hopefully be going out very soon for those of you watching, or those of you that are in the class that are watching. I did have 31 people participate in this class, and we have, for the 4 projects, there are lots of pieces and parts. And just for fun, I counted, so it's over 1,400 pieces of paper that I'm cutting, punching, die cutting, scoring, and all of that good stuff. So it's taken a little bit of time, but it's a labor of love, and I'm super excited. You're going to love the projects. Most of the projects are with the Ornate Garden Suite. This particular one, though, is not. So this is our cute little bunny pouch. You just open up. It feels weird to say open up his head, but lift his chin. How about that? You lift his chin. And inside we've got some little Ghirardelli bunny treats. I've got 2 little bunny treats in there, and a little piece of Velcro here that holds that flap closed. And then on the back, we've got the happy Easter greeting and the little bunny tail. So how do we get in the class? Good question, Patty. This class is full, but future classes I will post here on Sue Stampfield. If you want to take part in that, you will have that option. I'm still working through the hurdles of doing a class online. I'm used to doing it in person. I've been learning a lot. It's a fun challenge, and I think it's going to work out great. So I'm getting lots of feedback from my participants too. So I hope to open this up to more people. Right now I've just been limiting it to my people that normally attend. So, but watch for that, because there are more coming soon. So let's talk about our bunny here. We are using, as you might imagine, the treat pouch itself is from the all dressed up dies that are in the mini catalog. And so you cut 2 of these shapes, and you can make a cute purse. Back in Valentine's Day, you might remember we made this cute little backpack out of these dies. Oops, my little meerkat fell out of my pouch. But today we're going to make the whole thing into an animal, which is just kind of fun. Now, I got this idea from Petra. She is a demonstrator from Germany, and she did a bunny in brown that was super cute with these dies. And so she gave me the inspiration. I just kind of took it from there. Now, I did end up doing buttons for his eyes. The buttons also come right out of this Oh, thanks, Kathy. Buttons right out of this die set. So that was perfect to do the little eyes. I tried some punches and different things. I just wasn't happy with them, and I really like the buttons. If you've ever seen the old-fashioned like sock monkeys and different bunnies and things that are handmade that have the button eyes, that's kind of what I was going for. So I will do that, Patty. Absolutely. Would love to have you participate. And then this little bunny. Now, I know I have an Easter greeting on the back, but if you left that off, really this bunny could be for anything. It would be a cute baby gift. It would be a cute anytime. I mean, look at this sentiment. I can't think of any person that really wouldn't love to get that sentiment right now in the mail. Just a little reminder that you are loved. Right now when we are kind of forced to be distant from each other physically, it's just a perfect time to do some handmade love. And I know you guys have been doing a great job of sending cards and mailing that heartfelt love to people, and I just love hearing those stories. So this is what we do best, right? This is a moment for crafters to shine. So let's go ahead and get started on our project. So we are using, in addition to the all dressed up dies, we're using the stitched shape dies. And actually the ones I'm pulling on here are, they're Carol Rosengren's. Carol, I see that you're on here. She loaned me hers along with mine so that I could, you can see I had to cut quite a few. And if you take that times 31 people, it just worked faster for me if I had 2 sets. So thank you, Carol. And yours happen to be on my desk, so I'm going to use yours for the video. They also come with squares, which are actually on the back. Oh, she's got a Post-it note here, so you can't see them. Hold on, let me move that. There we go. Let's move that. The squares are on the back there. So they're sets of 4 circles, 4 squares, and 4 ovals. We're using the ovals. We're not going to use all of them. We're going to use the smallest oval. We're going to use the second up from smallest, and we're going to use the largest oval. So oval number 3, we're not using at this time, but it's a good one. Just not using it for this project. So let's go ahead and get started. I did do some of the duplicate die cutting already just to save time here. But I wanted to show you how, if you were starting from scratch, how you would make this, just like I would in a regular class. I'm going to bring in the die cutting machine here. Now my camera is a little bit closer than normal. I hope this works. Please let me know if it's too close. My husband borrowed my stand because our church is doing, everything of course is online right now, and they're doing the Monday, Thursday service, service of darkness, and they asked my husband to do a reading for that he had to do a video. So he had it kind of adjusted differently, and I thought, well, I'll just leave it that way. Okay, this is not the right piece, Susan. La, la, la. Bear with me. It's here. I have it. I cut it. All right. So with this particular die, you need to cut 2 of these shapes for a box. Now you can see this is a 5.5 by 5.5. If I put it on square, it would kind of hang off the edge. But if I tilt it a little bit, it fits perfectly. In fact, you could maybe even go a skosh smaller than this. I didn't want to cut myself too tight. So I did a 5.5 by 5.5 for this. It's too close, Patty. Crank it. Sorry. That was really loud. All right, let me know if you think I need to move it up a little bit if you can't see that. So there we have our box, and I already cut the other half. So I'm going to set this aside and just pop it out. And not only does it cut the shape, but you can see it adds that little stitching, which is why this worked so well with the stitch shape dies. I love that little stitching element. So I actually already have another one already cut here. So I have the 2 ready, and we're going to go ahead and keep cutting here. So let's grab our bunny. We need a bunny head, and that's going to be that largest stitched. I managed to cover up all of my paper. Here we go. So this, if you want to know, this is 3 3/4 by 3. But really, you know, with this kind of thing, I usually just grab my scrap everyone have a strap folder of white? I sure do. And just cut whatever fits. And that way, if you have a bigger piece, you can slap a bunch of dies on it. That's what we'll do for these other ones. But this one's pretty good size, so I thought we'll just cut that separately. So we've got our bunny head here. Now be gentle when you push these out of the dies because of these, they get stitched right into the die. So we have the head now. Now we're going to go back to our bunny. You can see we're going to need 4 of the next size oval. 2 for the feet and 2 for the ears. So Jewel, you need to make, you need a dozen of those bunny bags for coworkers. Well, you can just go to town, right? Probably got white and pink laying around, and you can just make up a storm of these. All right, so we're gonna go, now I already cut, I cut 3 already, so I'm just gonna cut 1. I told you I did some cheating, right? Is that cheating? I did some pre-cutting, so. All right, so we've got 1 bunny ear or foot. We're also going to cut 1 of this smallest size in white. That's for the arms, and I am only going to cut 1 because I'm going to cut it in half. And then I'm also going to cut this shape right here. So let's go back to those dies, the all dressed up dies that the purse die is in. And we're going to grab this little label pouch in the Valentine one. It was a pocket. For this one, it's just going to be the little banner that the bunny's holding. And we're going to put it right there. And we're going to just, whoops, add this on and send this through. So even though this class is full, I will be sharing all the projects on here. Probably not in videos, but who knows, maybe, we'll see. At the very least, I'll be sharing the photos of them so that you can see them. And we're going to pop these guys out. Again, be gentle when you push them out because you do have to really push. Thanks, Terry. Hey, Sally. Boy, that's stitched in there good. All right. This is about the closest I come to stitching anything anymore. I do have a sewing machine somewhere. I'm going to have to dig it out one of these days. But right now, I'll stick to paper stitching. All right, so we've got, we need 1 more, and that's, well, actually we need, if I was doing from step 1, I would need 4 of these smallest ovals, stitched ovals. I did 1 in white for the paws, and I would need 4 for the insides of the ears and the inside of the feet. I've already cut 3, so I'm just going to cut 1 here. All right, and while I have the die cut machine here, I'm almost done with my die cutting, but I'm going to go ahead and do 1 more, and that is our the back side. Put that aside here. The back side of our bunny, we have the Happy Easter. Now the Happy Easter and actually this sentiment come from a bundle that's in the regular catalog. The stamp set is called A Wish for Everything. And the dies are called, I never remember, I always have to look. Oh, someday I'll get a good memory, right? Oh, Word Wishes dies. And these are the ones that have all the different holidays on them. So we got Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, Valentine's, St. Patrick's Day, Halloween, oh gosh, every holiday you could think of. And of course, Happy Easter, so which is what we want here. So we're going to go ahead and die cut these. Now for those of you that are watching that are in the class, and I see several of you are on here, when I die cut your Happy Easters, which are already done, yay, I did put a retired product on the back, and that is the multi-purpose adhesive sheets. So your Happy Easter will already have adhesive on the back. But this one, I'm going to just do the old school way, which is to use the glue and the sponge so that you know how to do it if you don't have some adhesive sheets that we no longer sell. Hopefully we'll be getting those back soon. I would love to see those in the new catalog, which by the way is coming out in June. That's going to be here before we know it. All right, so I think we have everything cut. Did you just get that one with Patty? It's an awesome one because it just covers all those holidays, which is great. So we've got our happy and our Easter. All right, Susan, don't be so lazy. I'm so lazy, you guys. Oh my gosh. Get my take your pick tool out. This is how I hurt myself. You see, I'm using my finger underneath it. I don't recommend that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. I think we can put this away now. Yay! Whoa, sorry, wiggling the whole table there. All right, so let's get our bunny building hats on and go to town here. You know what? I forgot to cut one thing, didn't I? I forgot to cut the eyes. Let's bring these dies back in. We're going to grab the two smallest buttons. There's two large buttons and there's two small. They're the same size. They just give you two so that you can do some speed cutting. So fortunately, my die cutting machine did not go far. It's right here and we can cut these super fast. This is one thing that I have not gotten to cut yet. This year is going fast, Terry. I agree with you. I thought I was going to be having a graduation party for my son, who is a high school senior, this June, but we kind of don't know what's happening now. So kind of we're just taking it day by day right now, because you know what? That's all we can do, right? So we'll just see what happens. Okay, now we're cut. I'm going to pull this away. How are you guys doing? I hope you're hanging in there, taking it day by day. We don't have to solve everything, right? We're just going to make it through one day at a time, and eventually life will get back to normal, maybe, right? Sure will. All right, so I'm just using my pick tool here to get out my buttons. There, that one popped out. And these are our little button eyes. All right, come on. Oh, it was already out. Whoops. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to put those back onto the magnets so they don't get lost. All right, now I think we're ready to put our bunny together. So let's talk about that. We're going to do a little punching here. So the muzzle for the bunny and the whites of the eyes are the 1/2-inch circle punch, which I have right here. So I'm going to need 4 of those. And then the little heart nose and heart on the sign is from one of my favorite go-to hearts, and that's on the Dog Builder punch. I'm a dog lover, so this was a no-brainer, this punch. And I actually use this heart all the time now. I actually use it more than the dog. All right. Very good. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and do the stamping, just get that out of the way right now. So I have my Petal Pink ink pad here, and the stamp that I'm going to use is from the Wish for Everything. So this is the one that goes with those dies. I actually had a really hard time deciding on the sentiment for the sign because there were so many good choices. So I did go with just a little reminder that you are loved. But I also thought that sending Easter wishes to someone very sweet would be perfect. And may the beauty of Easter fill your heart with hope. That's another one that's just really perfect right now. Really, really perfect. But I went with the just a little reminder that you were loved, so that if you didn't want to send it for Easter, this made it a little more year-round. So get a little paper that's sticking on there. Okay. So I'm just going to ink this up in the Petal Pink and stamp it on here. May or may not be straight. I can live with that. And then I'm just going to take my little heart and I'm going to put that at the top. I'm going to use a glue dot to stick that on. I feel like this is a little weird to be doing the sign first, but that's okay. Just seemed like a good idea to be able to put the ink pad away. And since we did the sign, we might as well do our Happy Easter. So the Happy Easter goes in the back, and I just used our largest circle punch, which is the 2 1/4 inch circle punch die, and punch that out of Whisper White. And then to adhere these, I'm just going to grab a scrap paper and my sponge. Again, if you're in the class, you're just going to peel the backing off and the backs will already be sticky and ready to go. And a little multi-purpose glue in here. And my sponge. And the trick is I don't want to move the word once I start sponging on it because I don't want to get glue on the other side. So I don't want it to shift on me. So there we go. There's our Easter. Wow, is that sticky. Really should have done the happy first, Sue. That's the first word, but you know what? I'm gonna go backwards. Shouldn't matter, right? Nah. Just gonna put it as low as I can on this circle because it just barely fits. Go. All right, now we're going to go ahead and do the happy. The top. See, that was fine to go backwards. So there we've got our Happy Easter sentiments. Got some little shards there. I'll pull those off in a sec, but whoa, sticky. All right. While I have the liquid glue handy, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some liquid glue on the back sides of my buttons and just let that dry. Now, if you don't have liquid glue, you can actually use a glue dot rolled up in half. The reason I'm going to let it dry is I can tell, I always get too big of a blob of liquid glue like I've done right there. So if I put it on right now, it would kind of ooze out, and I don't want glue oozing out. But if I let it dry, it's going to dry tacky like a Post-it note. So I'm going to set that aside, let that dry. And let's go back to the front of our bunny here, and let's go ahead and get started with our face. So when you cut the scallop circle, it's hard to know where the grain of the paper is. Paper folds better on the grain, and if it's against the grain, so I can tell if I fold it right here, it's going to be against the grain, and I'm going to get some weird wrinkles. This is with the grain. You can tell because it usually just wants to follow the grain. So that one's curving nicely. This is like not wanting to curve so much. So I am going to score it. Those of you in the class, yours will already be scored. And so I'm just going to grab my tool here, and it's just a touch over 3 1/4. So I did 1 1/2 would be 3, and then 1/2 of a quarter would be 1/8. So it's 1 5/8. And so when you fold it, it actually does fold. Like I said, there's just a little bit difference, but that just gives you a little more room for face on the front. If you happen to score it with the grain or cut it with the grain going the right way, you could just skip the scoring and just go for it. But like I said, I didn't really know how that ended up. So those are going to be my eyes right there. My muzzle, I want to take these circles and I'm going to snip off just a little bit. Oh, I have snips right here. Just going to get them out of the drawer, and I have them right in front of me. So I'm going to cut off a portion of that. What is that, about 1/4 of it maybe? I just want 2 flat edges to butt up together here. Literally just eyeballing it. It doesn't have to be exact because it's white on white, so it doesn't really matter. But those are going to butt up to make the nuzzle, and I'm going to be adding the nose on there. So I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on the back of that. I'm going to go with the minis for this. So a mini dimensional on the back of the muzzle. Because we cut it down, a larger one might be a little too big. So there's your 2 minis. And then we'll be putting that nose on top of those. So let's go ahead and start with the muzzle. And I'll put it towards the bottom. There's no science to this. And there's plenty of room on that bunny face for the eyes and everything. So, I don't think you need to stress too much about exactly how many inches or whatever. I'm going to match it up so that the cut on the bottom, let me show you what I mean. I'm going to match it up so these 2 line up. I don't care about that one because it'll be covered up by the nose. And then we're going to attach the nose with the glue dots. And that's going to go right there. So we've got our little bunny nose. And then we're going to do the eyes. Now these are full half circles, so these I can use a full dimensional on. Or I can use minis if you want, doesn't really matter. The full just barely fits. But like I said, a mini would be just fine. And we're going to put those whites of the eyes right above the muzzle. I'm going to leave a little bit of a space between the eyes. You don't have to. You can play around with, you can not pull the backs off, and you can lay the eyes on in different positions and see what you like best. It's always funny with punch art animals. You really can change their appearance based on where you place the eyes. You can make them look cranky or confused or whatever. I'm just going for cute here. I'll move this over just a hair. I know I'm so picky about stuff. Bear with me, you guys are so patient. Okay, there we go. So we've got our eyes there. And then I'm just going to slide those buttons back in here. They've been sitting here drying, so I'm going to take my take your pick tool, the sticky side, and just flip that button over and center it on the white of the eye there. And here's our other little button eye. So when that happens, when your putty is not very sticky, you need to just trim it off a little bit. You can even pinch it with your fingers. It's time for me to advance a little fresh putty there. So I'm going to, you can see, just turn it just a hair, and it will slowly start to pull up. So you don't want to advance it too far, or it will waste your putty. There, now we have a nice sticky end for next time. So I'm going to fold my bunny face in half there, and let's go ahead and work on the body. So that's going to be the die here. This is a purse, a pouch, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to fold on all of the score lines, and then we're going to attach some tear and tape adhesive to put our pouch together. So we're also going to be gusseting this. It cuts the gusset right in with the die, so you're going to want to fold. This is a little trickier to fold because it's sort of like a Y shape. So just use your thumb to kind of bend it there. Okay, so you can see there is a tab right here for adhesive, and there's another tab here. So guess what? That's where we're going to put the adhesive. I'm using the tear and tape adhesive here. I'm going to find the end of it. Now I find that the adhesive is a little bit wider, or maybe it's exactly as wide as the tab. However, I don't want any adhesive on the outside of my box. So I'm leaving about 1/16 of an inch there, and I'm going to have that adhesive hang over, and that's fine. That's preferable than any that's on the outside of the box. I'm going to peel the backing off here, and I'm just going to fold that piece that's sticking up there, And I'm going to fold this piece here. You can, where it's hanging over, I'm just going to fold it back in. Getting very sticky tonight. Look at that. Paper stuck to me. All right, and then we're just going to stick this together. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same over here. So I'm going to add some more tear and tape to this side of the box. Let's do it this way. Hi, Jean. Hey, Laura. So I've got that tear and tape adhesive on there. It's easier for me to get the backing if I grab my pick tool here. Pull that off. And then we're going to use a little more tear and tape on the bottom, but again, we're going to fold that excess back in onto the flap. And decide how I want to do this. So just going to line up corners here and get on camera. So line up those corners and then slowly work your way down the side of the box and lining up that bottom corner. Then I'm going to flip these little flaps in. I don't need those. And flip this flap in. And I'm just going to add some tear and tape on this piece right here. Tear and tape, where are you? Here you go. Now if you prefer to use liquid glue, you certainly can use liquid glue for this. As we've already seen, I tend to get a little heavy-handed with liquid glue, so I'm better off if I use it in small amounts. Okay, pull that backing off. But some of my regular customers that are taking this class are very skilled at liquid glue, so they're amazing. All right, so we've got that in. Now you can even take your bone folder and just go in here and kind of rub it on the bottom just to make sure that those are connecting and adhered. And then it's going to be squeezing together like that. We're going to take our bunny head. Boy, I did a lousy job of centering that, didn't I? He's looking to the side, I guess. Wonder if I can move that. You guys, oh my gosh, you're so patient. Boy, even if I just spread the eyes apart, that helps like it look more straight, doesn't it? It's like I said, the eyes on these punch art things can be very interesting how they change the effect of your project. Let's see if I can. When dimensionals are sort of freshly put on, if you don't press them too hard, they can be moved around. Oh, that's better. That's all centered. Yay, bunny face. Now, I have his white eyes really wide apart. On my sample here, they're much closer together. That's okay. Let's see what we can vote on which one we like better. And I did rip it a little bit there, but that's okay. I'm covering it up. So, but I think they're both cute. So I'm going to go with a little wider part on this one. And then we're going to go back to that tear and tape. And we're going to put some tear and tape on the back half, the back of his head, I guess you would call it. So we got the front there, and you want to add it on the back part inside. Pull those off. Oh, did it without my pick tool since I don't have my pretty nails. I have my ugly quarantine nails. They work good though. All right, so we're just going to adhere that onto the back. And then this is where the Velcro comes in because we want this to stay down. So the Velcro that I happen to have, this is just what I had in my drawer. It's thin, clear fasteners. I can't even tell you where I got it. Probably a fabric store. They're 5/8" circles. Really doesn't matter. I mean, I can't, you know, any type of Velcro closure would work here. I'm just going to pull that off. Got the two, they're actually joined together. They're actually a little bit off center though, so just how they were shipped, but I'm just going to line those up because we all know I'm fastidious. All right, we're going to put this right here under his chin, let's say, and squeeze that down. And they were sandwiched together and I stuck them on. Now they should just, the Velcro should come apart. So that's the closure for our little Dress to Impress was the name of the, let's see, All Dressed Up is the name of the dies. Dress to Impress, I believe, is the name of the stamp set. Yes, it is. So if you want the bundle with the set and the dies, that's what you're going to want to grab. All right, well, we have a poor little bunny here that is missing some important parts. So let's go ahead and finish up our bunny. This will be quick. So we're going to grab our feet and our ears. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm just going to put those, just going to use snail adhesive to do that. You could also use glue dots if you prefer, liquid adhesive if you prefer. When you put on the pink layer, you're not centering it actually. You're putting it down near the bottom, both for the feet and the ears actually, believe it or not. So don't put it in the center, but put it down towards the bottom part. I'm not going all the way down. I'm just doing it, lining it up with the stitching. And 2 more. 3 more. No, 2 more. 2 more. 2 more. Oops. What is my deal with not getting things in the center tonight? It's okay. It'll just make it cuter. I know. Now I got it too much the other way. Oh, goodness. I got up at 5:30 this morning, and it's been a really long day. There was a thunderstorm here, and it woke me up. And I think my brain has already gone to sleep. Okay, there we go. So for the feet, that's just it. The feet are just going to go onto, look how cute with the big feet, onto the box. And those I'm actually going to just stick on with glue dots. I love glue dots for these kind of projects. Love, love, love them. I'm actually going to put a couple on there. But I don't want any glue dots out near the end. I just want them down near the bottom so that I don't have any sticky that's hanging off, because we are going to have that foot kind of extending off the side here. And we'll put our other foot right here. So add 2 more glue dots to this one. And there we have those big bunny feet. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, so let's do some ears. So for the ears, we're going to do a little curling here. Can you see on my sample that I've got? I did the bone folder and did some curling. Now you can do whatever you want here. I actually did one of them. I kind of curled this way so that it was sort of cupped like that. The other one I curled this way, so it was kind of flipping over, just to get a little bit of difference there, but you know, it's up to you how you want to handle that. For the ears, I'm actually going to use a little bit of tear and tape to attach them. I just feel like the ears, because they stick up from behind, might be a little more subject to abuse and falling off. It's kind of weird. I know it seems weird, but you're actually going to put the tear and tape on the front of the ear, down near the bottom, that part that we didn't quite go all the way down. And try to make sure you get some tear and tape on both the white and pink parts so that the white part doesn't fall off, leaving just the pink part. So I'm kind of pressing it down just to engage it there. Make sure that it stays on. Pressed it so well, the backing does not want to come off. There we go. Come on. And let's get the backing off of this one. This one I missed. Well, I've got a little bit on the white. I think I'm going to be okay there. It's really strong stuff. So I would take a minute on the ears and decide how you want those. So I'm not laying it down. I'm just kind of setting it on here and hovering before I attach the ears. And I'm going to go ahead and stick them on. And again, you could have them both flopping down. That would be super cute. Whatever you want to do there. So there we have our little bunny. We just need to add some arms and a sign, and we are all done here. And then put the piece on the back that says Happy Easter. And I've got some little extra paper pieces on there that I want off. So I'm just going to scrub them off with my die brush. There we go. Okay, so this is our arm. We're just going to take this and we're literally going to cut it in half. And the arms are going to be coming in just like that, and they're going to be holding that sign. So I'm going to go ahead and actually put the sign on first, and I'm going to put it on with a large dimensional on the back. Actually, I'm going to throw 2 on there just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. You like the thunder this morning? Yeah, thunder was pretty cool actually. My sister in Iowa just said it was hailing there tonight. It was beautiful here. Okay, so there we have the sign. Now the reason I put the sign on first is that kind of helps me decide where those arms need to go so that they're holding on to the sign. I'm going to attach the arms with a dimensional. You can use a full or a mini. I'm actually going to, I think in my sample I used a full, but I'm actually going to use a mini on this one because I feel like I'll have a little better control on placement. Could be wrong, but... Alright, so we're just going to pop on our little paw. That's right, it's not an arm, it's a paw. That's what you call it. And I'm putting the dimensional sort of in the middle, but a little bit closer to that cutoff part. So, oh, thanks, Karen. Isn't it cute? Isn't it kind of like magic? I love building these little punch things because you're like, oh, that doesn't look like a bunny until all of a sudden there it is. So there we have our little bunny. We need to add just stuff on the back here. First of all, you have to have a tail, right? You can't do a bunny without a tail. So we're going to use the 1 and, oh, not that one. Grab the wrong one. The 1 1/8 scallop circle punch. I'm just going to punch that out of a scrap of white. Pop that up with a full-size dimensional and put it on the back. You gotta have a tail, right? And then we're just going to attach this Happy Easter greeting. When I attach this, I just want to make sure that it doesn't stick. Oh, there we go. Doesn't stick above the front of the box there, because then it will be visible from the front, and I don't want you to be able to see it from the front. So I'm just going to put a little. Oh, let's go with tear and tape on that too. Don't want it falling off. All right. There we go. And this project is all done. So I'm just gonna again slide it down. You can slide it under the tail, that's fine, but I just don't want it sticking up above the box because I only want it to show from the back. Happy Easter to you and your family too, Kathy. Thanks, I'm glad you liked our project tonight. So there we have our little button-eyed bunny, so cute. Now on the inside of this, I put 2 Ghirardelli's bunnies. These particular ones are just milk chocolate. They've also got dark chocolate. They've got filled with caramel, sea salt caramel, and all sorts of different options for these little bunnies. Or if you have regular Ghirardelli's on hand, you could actually fit 2 regular Ghirardelli's, 1 on each side of the gusset in the front and the back there. I did 2 that are actually just side by side here, the skinnier ones. But I didn't put, I don't know that you could fit 4 in there. I think it would be too thick. So, and just close it up. And there you go. Thanks. Now, which one do we like better? The wide apart eyes or the together? I don't know. I like them both. Can't decide which one I like better. So there we go. He is adorable. I'm going to flip the camera so I can say goodbye. Yay. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care. Have a great night. And we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.